everybody to probably our 7th grade scholarship presentation. When we first started, we started upstairs with about 15 people, and now we've got 100 plus, so I think that's magnificent the way everything's growing. Tradition that we're trying to keep up as best we can, which is getting difficult to beat year on year, is we started with McGinley, and then we had Anthony Wall, and then fortunately with some close relationships with Mizuno, thanks to Alex Thorn, Chris Wood has kindly given up his time to do this evening. Chris, his wife is expecting their first baby, and that's why we've had such a tough time trying to organise a date at the last minute so we can get a date. But he is here, he's under a little bit of time pressure, so we may have to leave promptly, but we'll try and keep him here as long as we can. Right? So, he's just going to arrive at any moment. So I hope you all enjoyed the evening. The slideshow that we put up, some of the text is way too small for you to read, but it'll be online, so you can look at the detail later when you're back at home. So that'll go onto the Windlesham website. We're doing a Facebook Live, which is the first thing we do. First time we've done that, so we're opening up to another 2,500 people if they're interested. We might get a handful, you never know. But here he is. I'd like you all to sort of stand and give a warm welcome to Chris. Alex and I go back a long way, and this is the way things work, and this is something that we're definitely seeing from the academy. Juniors that come through Windlesham and come through golf and get involved in academy projects, they go on to stay within golf. Alex, so this is the BMW trophy, which Chris won in May, of 2016. And from my point of view, we knew Chris was going to come along probably a year ago. And then when he won, I thought, it's so nice to have a trophy. So, Chris, I present you again. Always nice to win, eh? Right, so, you've all had the email, so you kind of know the running order of the evening. But I'm going to blur time for hopefully 20 minutes. And then we're going to have the presentations of scholarships. And then Chris is going to do a Q&A, and then we'll have some photographs and lots of drinks and canapes at the end of the evening. Okay. So, again, this all started a long time ago. We tried to come up with, rather than just doing traditionally clinics and coaching, and a lot of the clubs still around the area are doing it this way, where you'll have a line of juniors, you'll have a assistant professional at the shop walking up and down the line. It's all a little bit casual and haphazard. And with Peter and Tony, with their help, we all agreed that it would be great to have a structured coaching program, and they were keen to promote junior golf at Windlesham. And without them, it definitely wouldn't have happened. I was here for 15 years prior to that, and we struggled to get anything going. But now, because of their support and their input, we are where we are today. So thank you, and also thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Lumley as well with their support. So the idea was structured coaching programs. We wanted to do clinics in a small number with qualified PGA full-time coaches, which we've got a team. That's where we're lucky at Windlesham. We've got a coaching academy as well as a professional shop. And to sort of create some incentive to get the juniors to come along, we thought of, well, can we have a scholarship program? Wentworth and other clubs have scholarship programs, but we wanted to try and make a scholarship program with a difference, and there's two factors to that. One is we wanted to have it one on merit, and then the other one was the goal was to bring more girls into golf. So we've got 4 awards today. We've got 4 scholarships through the Academy Cup, we're going to talk about, and we've got 3 scholarships where we give those out to girls that we think that are dedicated to golf, and they're going to go on with golf and then do so. And then so far, we're lucky enough to have 12 plus girls at Windlesham. I'll talk about that more later. That's Anthony with Aidan last year, Aidan the Academy Cup winner. And that's where we left off. So we'll move on from there. This will work. I press the right button. So you've got to start off with a vision. We want a structured coaching program for all levels, and this is the thing. Everything we do at Windlesham is designed for the golfer that just wants to do a little bit, or the golfer that wants to go to the highest level. We also want to try and promote the environment that juniors can't play in the county, and maybe one day we'll get somebody into the national team, and maybe one day we'll get somebody in there. So that's the goal. I'm just going to give you a review of the Academy Cup for last year, touch on some of the fundraising that we had, that's both junior and corporate. Sorry, county representatives, and we always try and have a goal of 6 per year, and we're doing that so far. We've got an under-10 programme, girls' scholarships, results and presentations. So that's the running order. So this is where we start, and again, going back 8 years, this was a lot smaller. And it's just grown and grown and grown, and a lot of the growth comes from experience and asking the juniors, what is it you want from us? And the Academy Cup at the moment, so we've got 10 categories. We do their best 6 events, and we give the points. The points used to be 10 down to 1. Things got so tight at the top, it's difficult to sort of find a winner, clear winner, so we decided to go on to like Formula 1 points. So that was a development. We've added majors, the juniors, we talked to them, they said we want majors, we want the Grand Slam, so we'll talk about that in a minute. We give them points for reducing the handicap. We have skills days, twofold, and again we'll come on to that. Academy clinics, match play events. We try to reward juniors for going out and playing golf away from Windlesham, so they get points just for turning up. And they also get points for how they perform in those competitions. And then again, in the early days, Paul Carter was a junior organiser. Sometimes it's difficult to get juniors to play in matches. We gave them an incentive to try and play in matches. So everything that we're doing is to try and promote participation and growth and enjoyment. That was Div 1 and 2. Div 1 and 2 what we call Congu handicaps. So that's 1 to 28 or 1 to 36 for the girls. We then, because of the under-10s program and the fact that golf is starting younger and younger, we had to come up with something else, and that was the Division 3. So Division 3 is for our club handicaps from 28 through to 54. So all we've done there is that this is quite deep. There's quite a lot going on. So it's for the juniors in Div 3 to get their head around what this is all about, but more so it's for the parents to get their head around what it's all about. Yeah? Because a lot of you parents obviously don't play golf, and you look at that and you go, wow. So that first year, it's a bit messy because going back again to when Paul did it, there was none of this. There was no club handicap. If you were a junior at 10 years of age, you just played golf off the white tees or off the ladies' tees, moving up to the whites, and you could not get a 28 handicap until you could place 28 off the white tees, and that was demoralising a lot of junior golfers. So now the wisdom is to have this club handicap, which runs at the ball, and there's a lot of learning going on there, and one of the key learnings is how to count. Okay? And you have to think about this from a 9-year-old's point of view. They watch Chris on the TV, they want to be like him, yeah? So they want to win. But they've got to learn how to hit the ball, they've got to learn to get it in the hole, they've got to learn how to count, they've got to learn the rules, they've got to learn to play with others, they've got to learn to be safe, they've got to learn etiquette. There is so much going on, it's really understandable that we get a few magic pencils. And my lad's now 17, and we used to play golf, obviously, when he was younger, and his counting was always deleted. Yeah? And there was no malice in it, he just only wanted to remember the good shots. And the way she did it. So if he hit 4 good shots, he had a 4. Makes sense. So, again, the prizes are smaller for that division with no scholarships, so we do give out prizes. So you can see already, there's a lot of thought gone into what we've done. We're at the Stapleford events, again, just a few pictures as we go along, and again, you can see there. So in Div 1 and 2, it's their best 6 events. It used to be 3, we opened it to 6 because we wanted them to participate in with the adults, so there was more events. We've also grown it from 8 Stalefords at a junior level where they can accrue points. So if they win an event, they get 5 points. If they come 10th, they get 2 points, and that feeds into the table. The majors, and again, this came from juniors. They wanted their Grand Slam. This is the Birkdale Trophy, sponsored by Lee and Jill Wood. We've had club members that I've gone to and said, would you mind if? And then once one did it, somebody else would come and say, yeah, we'd love to. And we've now got our Grand Slam of majors. So we've now, and in those days, again, initially we just had trophies and whatever prize money or whatever money we took, we won the prizes. Last year I kind of realised how good a thing we had going here, and we had some evidence of longevity, and then it's not just a flash in the pan program. So I went to Alex and said, would you like to get involved with Mizuno? And he jumped at it. And again, a lot of that comes back to the fact that Alex started playing golf here in his junior camps. He's recently moved house, moved everything out the attic, found his little yellow cat from Windlesham with all the stickers on it, went and threw it in the bin and took it. And that's how close the emotional ties. Okay? So that's a great story for me. So I started him off, and now he's looking after it. So that's the dual sponsorship. So we've got members of the club supporting by presenting the trophies. The trophies were put up by Lee and Jill Wood on that occasion. So we've got Pete Millam does the Carnoustie Cup. We've got Steve and Charlie Debates do the Troon Trophy, and then we've got the Paul family look after us in the Windlesham match play, and then we have the club champs as well. Now, and again, Alex's affiliation with caps, he says we've got to have a cap. So every winner within the divisions gets a cap, and then it's a Mizuno cap, but it's just saying what they've won and when they've won it. So it's a nice little, he's hoping that they're going to keep that for the next 20 years. And again, so just, sorry, flip back there, divisional points, we enhanced the points, we gave more for a major because it was a major. That's the way it works. More money for majors, more points for majors. Those are just some of the photos from the day. We've had events where it's been absolutely caning it down with rain. We've got 30 or 40 juniors out there. They're on the mobile phones, as they would do in the modern age. They've told me that the holes are full of water, so we suspend play. We leave it a bit longer. We say, look, do you all want to come in? So they're all out there under trees, under umbrellas, huddled together. We're not coming in. So there's no way. So we got it finished, we got it done in the end. But those have proved to be great days. The last one that we had this year, we got 50 players, and we've now got up to 4 different divisions. We normally hand out the major trophy, the big trophy for the gross, and then we've got divisional winners, we get the other trophies. So again, that's growing, and we get a great turnout at the presentations. We always get around about 80 juniors and parents at presentations. And these are numbers that kind of buck the trend within golf. Golf's supposedly dying or receding, or, you know, I think we've proved here that if your mind's in the right place, you can still grow golf. So these are our major champions with our sponsors. We've got Gavin winning the Troon. We've got Zach Torrey from America winning the Birkdale. Hugo, last year's captain, winning the Carnoustie. Shergo Curdy, who won the club champs. And then we have Cameron Koloff, who won the match play. Here are our divisional winners. This year we've got club champs, so the adults club champs, and I have to say that our senior members and members of the club are very, very gracious. They don't give us too much stick when we go and win them. So Sam Story, ex-club captain, won the men's club champs gross, and Sarah Mardani won the ladies club champs gross. So well done to them. And there's two happy support from the club and the captain. We give them points for reducing their handicap. So we look at a percentage. You get points relative to percentage. So if you get 31%, 50% drop in your handicap, you get 40 points and so on. And again, that feeds into the tables at the end of the year. Skills days. And again, you know, things have moved on in golf, and the coaching has got we accommodate, depending on the pros, 27 to 36 on a day, and again we get those sort of numbers. And you can see there, got two lots. That's for category 4, 5, with the point saying 25% down to 10. And those are the sort of skills tests that come up with the EGU. I've got a list of skills tests, and we just tap into the ones that they offer and the things that we do with accountings. From my point of view, and from our guys' point of view, when we're doing this, we're showing methods of practice. So you can work on the practice range to develop a technique, but you can also work on the practice range to develop your scoring. The skills test every department of the game. They give us an opportunity to find out, is there an area where you're weak? If that area is weak, you can develop it, and you can improve your handicap by developing your weakness. That's the idea behind that, and they're great days. We have good fun as well. That's the skills day results table, which means nothing there to see. Thing to learn. But the point there is that every stat is kept. So we've got all the different skills. So there's 8 skills over 6 different days. Feeding back into the table is their best 3 out of 6. And that's the 3 different divisions. So we can look back and spot a trend if we want. Again, all this goes out to the parents sort of once every 6 weeks. So again, if you really want to, you can look into that page of the spreadsheet and you can see how they're getting on, and you've got a little bit of information of, well, maybe this area is weak, the scoring always is low on putting, let's see what we can do about it. The other loop for me then is in the clinics, we pick a skill and we work on that skill. So we just say, right, today we're going to do this putting skills test in this clinic. Let's just practice it and let's see how we can improve upon it. And if there's and again, if there's issues, then we'll have a technical session within that. So we'll split the clinic, 50% sort of problem solving of how can we get better at it, and 50% of working on it, more or less. But it's all kind of interwoven, and there's a theme that goes behind it, and there's a structure that goes behind it. And it's important that the more you can buy into it, the more you can take away, the better it works. You see there, attitude. I mean, sometimes we're not overly strict, but we give points for attitude, and we give points for dress. So if we just get somebody who's not quite behaving as they should do, all I've got to do is say, well, I'm going to take away 3 academy points. So instead of getting 7 for turning up today, you're going to get 4, and the behaviour changes, which is great. Yeah? So it's a nice way of saying, come on, we want you to pay attention. If you pay attention, we'll give you 7. If you don't, we'll give you 4, or whatever. And that, there's times when that's worked beautifully from my point of view. You don't have to raise your voice, just take a point. Again, part of the development, this is new. Last year was the first year, Cameron's the second year. It's Div 1 and 2 only. You get points for where they come, depending on where they got knocked out. We had 32 participating last year, and then we worked through. And Cameron at the time was 28 handicap. He tried and tried to get his handicap down. He struggled to get it down in stroke play, but boy, could he do match play. So everybody who came up against Cameron just felt so he was just a phenomenal match player, and that was, again, golf has many different aspects to it. Medal playing is match play, so well done, Cameron. For the juniors, the club handicap, there's less competitions to play in, so we do a Saturday 9-hole league for them. Saturday 9-hole league. We do that on order of merit. So there's some, 16 of those throughout the year, and we take their best out, and again we give them some points that go back in. So we put quite a heavy loading on that. I might change it slightly, but it's quite a heavy loading because it is all year. There's a lot of events that go into it. And Ralph won the Saturday league this year. So when we went back to the main table, the knockouts go into the Div 1 and 2 table. The Saturday league is a replacement in the Div 3 table. Again, outside events, we give them points for turning up and points for winning. About our successes, Aidan won the Scratch County Championships this year. represented across the world. Ellie went to the States, Leo went to the States, James went up to Scotland, and the others all went out to Spain, Portugal, sorry. We had 8 in Portugal or 6? Okay. We had 6 or 7 out in Portugal playing in the Oceanic World Kids Golf Tournament. Ellie was at Torrey Pines.
Yes.
And James was at
Gullen.
Gullen. All right, so some great courses, some great events. So this is some of the stuff we've done. So within a rookie tour event, there's 4 different categories. So there's only 12 events. There's up to about 50 different categories, and we've won 14 of the 50, which is a good number. So we're over a quarter, and we've got how many photos? Sorry, so that's a great achievement. Shogo Kirby won the Order of Merit for the under 14 scratch. Nathan came second in the scratch under 12, 8 and 4. Leo won the under 12 handicap. Sarah won the Order of Merit in the girls, and Alex Jenkins was second in the girls in the Order of Merit. So again, that's a great showing within those tournaments. And Surrey's a great county. They put on a lot. We're doing a lot here with the rookie league. They're doing a phenomenal amount as well to promote golf. Sam Story and David Lazinskas in the tournament in Portugal. They won their age category, or I think it was gross for Sam. Was it gross? Yeah. And handicap for David. So again, well done, guys. And then, as I say, we had in the world, qualified for the World Junior Champs in Torrey Pines. We had Leo Verobayev, sorry Leo, playing in that with Ellie, and James Brash, and again Leo represented us in the US Kings Finish Final at Windlesham. Is that Windlesham there? Yeah, so Leo's in that one. So great to see them going out and spreading their wings. And that's what Tour Life's about. Representing the club, we've had Lee Wood, Pete Millam running the teams, and now Shaheen's going to run a girls team in the rookie league for us. So again, we're growing again by running the girls league, first girls team in the rookie league. We play in the Guildford District, we play in the rookie league, we play in the 90s league. We won the 90s league, we won the President's Cup within that. We got to the semi-finals of the Guildford District, we got to the semi-finals of the rookie league. We came second in the Captain's Cup, which is another team event run in Surrey, and we also got to the regional finals, South Region finals at East Park. So all in all, a great year. And again, they get 5 points per match they play in, 3 points for a win, 1 for half, and just 5 points if they lose. So 8 points is the most they can do. Academy Cup for 2017. We always look and review. There's going to be a couple of little tweaks to that, and the reason we tweak is I and my team, which is Richard, Ben and Chris Davenport, and they put a huge amount of effort into this, want to make sure that there's an ethos going and running through this as a theme of developing youngsters through golf. Part of development is striving, and part of that is the pain of losing. Right? We're in a very competitive world. We can't sort of get away from that. Schools went away from it, decided it was the wrong thing to do. You've got to be competitive. The competition thing makes you strive, makes you want to get better, but we've got to try and do it within a framework of rules, because there's no achievement if there's not any boundaries. Yeah? So we've got to have the boundaries in place, and every decision that we make is either to make it more fun for the juniors or to try and maintain that ethos of struggling and striving to win and to better ourselves within the rules of the game and within the definitely we want the right spirit. We want to find the winner that's said to themselves at the beginning of the year, this is something I want to win, and I'm going to work hard, I'm going to compete as much as I can to try and win myself a scholarship. So there will be a couple of tweaks, but they're only small tweaks, basically. We were going to change the stablefoods and limit it to just junior stablefoods rather than opening up to club ones, but in my mind we're penalising the children, so I'm going to just tweak the rules just to keep it fair for everybody. Right, so this is our give back. We try to say to the juniors The club's supporting us, the club is behind us. What can we give back? We do caddying, we get our boiler suits out and we caddy on Masters Sunday for the members, raise money for the captain's charity, and then our junior captain of the year puts on a Captain's Day event, and all money raised by the juniors and their parents goes into the captain's, the main club captain's charity. And that's just, we've got to make sure that we give back. It's an important part of society and, again, developing the children through God. That's us on our Masters Sunday with our boiler suits on. And again, it's great fun, it's great interaction with the members. And again, the juniors are doing that for nothing. Whatever the member pays the caddy, they'll give them a tip. The tip goes home, but the rest goes into the captain's pocket. We also have a corporate charity day. So some years ago, one of our past captains, Richard Tier, came up with the idea that we'd like to use his charity to create a charitable trust fund. So we've got a way of putting money into a pot that gives this program perpetuity and longevity. That's the right word. And that's now in its third or fourth year and it's growing. So we hold a corporate day each year, and the main driver for me behind that has been Russell and Emma Acton. They use it as their corporate day for Russell's company, and we've got one again this year. And it is a top-notch day, but it is that little bit special. On the 9th of June, the course is at its very best, and there's going to be a Michelin-star chef for the evening. We've got a rugby for a hole-in-one, and we've got some other things that make it more than just the average day. So if anybody wants a corporate day with a difference and they're willing to sort of support the Junior Trust Fund, then please talk to myself or one of the boys shortly, because space is running out on that one. And again, that's heavily supported by WGM Limited and people who don't through. That's some of our representatives. Christian's now moved out, but Sam and Brian's a little bit older now, but still within the programme. Villain boys. We've got Sarah Mardani that's knocking on the door of girls' county team. It's harder with the girls because they have one team. They don't have age teams, it's just there's a team. So it's much more difficult for the girls to get into that team. And then we have David Brzezinskas joining this group, and we have Kevin Malin joining this group as well. But we have got quite a few knocking the door, so we've got a good representation within the county. New for 2017. Again, when I sat down and reviewed it and I listened to feedback, you put it, throughout the year, I kind of thought, do you know what? We're doing a great job. We've just got to make sure that we deliver it. So my thing is, I'm making sure that the guys that are working with me know how good a system it is, but make sure they deliver it correctly and are proud of delivering. And if they and me all keep saying the same things, the juniors and the parents, everybody will see what a good program it is, and there is a hell of a lot of thought and care gone into it, and we really care about your children. Sometimes it may not feel like it, but we really care about them. So we're not here to upset them, we're here to sort of create an environment that when they're older, they're like Alex and they think, I really enjoyed my time at Windlesham. Junior under 10 program. So Ben's kicked that off, and that's in what year now? How many years is it? Sixth year. So going from 5 to 10, structured CAP program. They do 8 weeks. The 8th week they do a challenge day. You get the senior juniors to help out, and there's tears on that day. But again, part of that failure is what should drive you to become a better golfer. Chris has got a story about that later. It is an integral part of golf. The pain that you feel from losing is what's going to inspire you to be better. It's going to be the motivation, the drive. So you've got the desire, I want to win one thing, I want to win that, I played, I didn't win. I'm really upset that I didn't win, but that pain's going to drive you. Okay, so it's striving to one day win that or win these or win something. Yeah? So that's a great structured program, and again, the fact that it's been going for so long takes a lot of effort. How many kids have we got now? We've got
80.
So we've got And again, the detail of this you can check out on the website if you want. We've got 72 there, 60 boys, 22 girls, a good showing of the girls, different caps. And we're definitely now starting to see all that feeding into the academy to the point where we've got a lot of young golfers at the age of 10 that are in Congo handicap. All our Congo events are off the white tees, but now I'm thinking I can't do that to a 10-year-old because they're going to not enjoy the golf. So we've got to, again, tweak the rules to accommodate the younger golfers. So we will do. We will take care of them. Girls scholars, each year we hand out 3 scholarships. For those 2017 girls, we've got Alex Phelps with their hat down, so you can't see her face, but you'll see her later. We've got Izzy Wood-Smith, and we've got Ellen Yates this year. And again, that's a drive to promote girls golf and get more girls. Now, the girls need volume. If the girls have got volume, they stay. If there's just 1 or 2 girls in the club, they tend to drift away because they don't like playing with the boys, do you? Yeah. That's what Mum said. Scholarships, these are the prizes. So for the Academy Cup, first and second prize, they get 12 1-hour lessons, 3 playing lessons, and then golf. Second prize is half of that. So it's about £1,200 worth of value in the first prize, £600 in the second. So they're decent prizes. We want a little bit of commitment back, so we ask them to represent the Junior Academy and be our ambassadors in certain events and to help out with the challenge days. Definitely, there's things that we do where we get them to stand in front of the committee at the end of the year and talk about their year, and that's all, again, public speaking to a small audience. We're trying to develop the junior through golf. Again, some great golf swings, some great snaps throughout the year. So we come to the final result. We're just going to announce our winners, and we'll get the card in a minute. There's one actual tie again. Yeah? And I really, this December 1st is our deadline date, and it all just comes flurrying in at the end. And we changed all the points so this wouldn't happen, but we've got 2 guys on 5 each thing. So we're going to split the 2 prizes between them. Do Division 2, Joe Silcock, Chris Floater. So again, congratulations there. Did 3, Ralph Coates and Ellen Yates. We get out an Academy Cup, and that's going to go to the person that had the most points overall. Joe, so we'll announce that in a minute. And then just quick thanks to everybody that helped out. So we've got Ladies Committee that helped us out over the years, the Charitable Trust Fund, Henry and Sheena Lumley have been very supportive, and they actually put up a Masters prize. So it was a week at the Masters, I think, for 2, and they put that up. We ran a raffle, and all the prize money from that went to the trust fund, so thank you for that. WGM Limited, Continual, Richard, Emma, Russell, and our sponsors within our competitions, and other club members that have contributed through the renewal scheme. Our junior organisers, again, they really helped me out. I can't do it all, and our guys, we've got to earn a living, so we can't do the matches. So Pete Midham, Lee Wood, Bob Turpin, and even some who have always been there to take care of matches. And that is it. Got through it. That was snap last year. Hopefully it's going to work now. That one. So Chris, thanks for coming. Chris has won 3 major events: Qatar Masters, Lioness Open, and obviously the PGA. Been on tour for 9 years. That long. Won £7 million, even though you might not feel like you've done a big show for it. And this is just a small montage as he's golfing live so far.
Chris Wood completed the meet of his life with his 72. He even finished tied 5th, the best performance by an amateur since Justin Rose, a decade earlier.
What a wonderful performance by this man, 21 years old, 5th last year, aiming to do better this year. It's a wonderful feeling this, walking up the ocean when you've had a great home, crowds either side. fantastic shot. Oh, she was so close to being perfect. Wonderful shot, today.
What a good cut. What a good cut.
Good on the green. Oh, what a shot. That's it. Now then. This for the win. Oh, well, what a way to finish. Well, it's been long overdue and you can't believe it.
Well, surely he is the Lioness Open champion of 2015. Started with a score of 67, finished it all off with a £500 round as well.
On the tee from England, Chris Wood.
You just began to feel after this approach to the first that this might have been Woody's day. Good swing, good swing. He's next up, Jim is down the middle of the perfect. Oh, terrific stuff.
Well, it would be massive for Chris Wood, 3-year exemption to the Open, scorecard till 2021, big step to the Ryder Cup.
Relief and joy. Emotional win for Chris Wood, the champion of Wentworth.
A huge victory, the BMW PGA Championship winner of 2016.
Right, so we've come to the presentation part of the evening, so I'd like Chris to join us, and he's going to hand out prizes. We're going to go through girls' scholarships first. So Alex Thorn would like to come up and receive scholarships. Division 3 was Ralph Coates. And then also, we try to make sure there's some motivation for everybody. And for a prize winner that hasn't won a scholarship this year, but has improved out of everybody else the most year from 2015 to 2016, and that was Sarah Mardani. And then last but not least, we've got the two different divisions, but there's only one cup. So the junior that had the most points over the both of the combined or two divisions together wins the Academy Cup. And this year that was Joe Silcock. And Joe would like to say a few words.
When I joined Windlesham 2.5 years ago, Lee told me about the Academy Cup. Since that time, it's been my goal to win it. So tonight, to be presented by Ryder Cup player and the current BMW PGA champion is unreal. I want to say thank you to Lee and all the coaching team who have helped me and all the juniors over the last year for their coaching, for organising so many competitions and giving encouragement when most needed. I think you will agree that Windlesham Golf Club is such a good place to learn golf. Thank you also to my parents for putting up my grumpy moods after a bad round, for taking me to competitions, as well as financing my new club and clothing. Thanks to all those I've played this year, it's been fun and I have made some good friends. A big thank you to Chris for taking time out of his busy tour schedule to be here tonight. I wish you good luck for next season and be following you around at Open this summer at Royal Birkdale. My congratulations to all the other scholarship winners tonight, and let's look forward to a great other golfing year. Thank you.
This is our opportunity to put Chris on the spot with a Q&A. Just before I do that, I think a mention to all the parents. Obviously you do so much in the background, especially when we have events where we need your support. So in the majors, we get the parents out there tallying and making sure the scoring is correct for the younger golfers. So just thank you very much for all your help. Okay, Chris, over to you. Q&A. Okay. Come and sit. You're more commercial with a hand. Right, who would like to go? Question for Chris.
Well, I'll ask a question.
We can go next, Bob.
Where did you decide you wanted to go pro? Was it a decision that was because of your talent or something that you decided much younger?
I probably from the age of about 15 I decided that was all I wanted to do. And then I had in my mind that I wanted to play in the Walker Cup, which is the amateur equivalent of the Ryder Cup. And then I qualified for the Open as an amateur, finished 5th, and all of a sudden people know who you are within the golfing world, and the Walker Cup didn't seem quite so important, and I was offered several invites to the European Tour and turned pro because of that. So yeah, it all sort of happened quicker than I thought, but down to finishing well in the Open really.
Thank you.
Bob?
You're pretty tall. When you were a junior,
Very
did you
tall.
have specially lengthened clubs, or did you have to play with the normal club?
That was when you were a junior, yeah?
Well, when you were as tall as you are now.
Yeah, fortunately Mizuno make extra long clubs. Yeah, all my clubs are an inch longer than standard now, and they're bent a little bit upright also. So there's not many players that can hit my clubs on tour. I mean, my putter's 37 inches long, and most guys, it's a belly putter to them. Yeah, I mean, when I was a junior, I obviously wasn't as tall as I am now, but it's definitely important to get the right, yes, because I mean, I played the British boys when I was maybe 15, 16, and over a 3-week period, which clashed with the British boys, I grew an inch and a half. And we couldn't figure out why I was so bad, but that explained it. So, you know, I'd say once everyone's sort of hit 17, 18 and they've sort of started to settle down, that's probably the best time to really get fitted for some clubs that suit you.
Yeah?
How did you feel when you got invited to the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, well, obviously since I was your age, really, I'm sure you watched the Ryder Cup and I was in your position and you dream of playing in it. So when I won the BMW, it sort of secured my place really on the team. But it didn't, I wouldn't allow myself to accept that I was in the team until it was concrete. So the qualifying finishes in early September, Wentworth was won in May. So I had, 3 or 4 months where am I in, am I not in, am I in, am I not in? And then I picked up a neck injury which took 5 weeks out of my season, and I'm watching guys catch me up on the points. So it's quite hard, but once you're there, it's everything you sort of dream of and more really. We just got the wrong result.
Sam?
What age were you when you started playing golf?
I was 9 years old, and my golf club wouldn't actually let me join until I was 10. So I sort of snuck out with my dad, who's a good, keen golfer, on the course when nobody was looking. And then they let me join when I was 10 and sort of went on from there.
What's been your favourite course to play?
I'd probably say Augusta. Yeah, the Masters is pretty special because we've all watched it on telly over the years, and it's very, very hard to get on unless you're in the Masters. It's not like, I mean, a lot of the Open courses I love, but you know, we can all go there, pay a green fee and play it, but Augusta is very, very special. Yeah.
The juniors are encouraged to sort of analyse their games when they finish. How do you do that as a pro? Does someone do it for you?
Well, no, I work with a guy who does my stats for me. So my caddy will write down every single shot I hit, where it finished, how far the putt was, and that all gets fed back into the stats guy. And every 3 or 4 months, he'll give us a report on something that stands out, something that needs working on.
And use that for practice?
Yeah, absolutely. So it gives you a focus for your practice then.
Chris, in terms of your golfing career, who's been the most influential person and why?
When I was a junior, probably a blend between my dad and my former swing coach, who I still work with on some level now, Paul Mitchell, who's a pro at Bristol and Clifton Golf Club. I went to see him for lessons when I was 12 or 13, and I think I might have been a 10 handicap. And he took me to a European Tour winner from that level. There's not many coaches I know that have done that. A lot of coaches get the limelight with guys that are on tour naturally, but you know, he's the pro in the shop at one of my local clubs who completely believed in me and pushed and pushed and pushed me, and that's why we still work together today, really. So I'd say that. Thanks. Yeah. No, I didn't fit in it. Yeah, it was. I don't know if any of you saw it. It was hard work getting in it, harder getting out. So yeah, I had to get rid of that. Not very good for my back.
Chris, did you choose Mizuno or did they choose you?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I used Mizuno irons before I signed. I mean, I was on tour maybe a year or so before we sort of got together, so it sort of worked from both parties, really. I think it's been 7 years with Mizuno now. Cam?
Who's the best player you've ever played with?
You heard of someone called Tiger Woods? So I played with Tiger in 2013, 4 years ago, at a World Golf Championship in America. And you might be a little bit young to appreciate how good he was. If you think of Rory McIlroy, times in by 100, and that's how good Tiger Woods was when I was growing up. So for me to tick that box and be able to play with him was incredible, and I can honestly say he was rotten on the day. He did not play well. He hit it left, he hit it right, he hit it behind trees, but he shot 2 under par. And I played lovely and hit the fairways, hit the greens and shot level par, and he beat it by 2. Yeah, he went on to win the tournament by 8 shots. So for me, it was incredible to see somebody turn a 78 into a 68. So I've got to say Tiger. But Rory's pretty good as well.
At the back.
I'm just interested, obviously today's sportsman has to be fit and strong and conditioned. How much time do you spend in the off-season actually working on core strength and power? Because I feel that the top golfers now, they just want to put in 6 hours in the gym and hit the ball 10 yards, 20 yards further. How much is that part of your training regime?
Better question is ask Chris how many hours he's done today.
Yeah, I was in the gym at 11 this morning in Weybridge and came straight here. What was it, half 5? Yeah, so I've done a full day. Obviously not 6 hours doing bicep curls, but yeah, it was a sort of planned day around my fitness work.
Can I just ask the follow-up? So how much, after you've trained, do you then go out and practice, or do you have a day of sort of physical training?
I swing the club like an octopus if I went and hit balls now, I think. So yeah, on a general week off, I'll practice in the morning, probably 8:30 till 1 o'clock, and then go home for lunch, and then have a gym session in the afternoon.
Wow.
Do that for 2 days in a row, and then have a complete day off. That would generally be my practice week at home.
Max?
How do you feel when you play on the tour?
When I play on the tour?
Yeah.
At the start, obviously, it's quite daunting. You don't really know anybody, but I think I'm into my 8th year now, or 9th year, so I know everybody and I know how it works, and you're into a routine of travel, the hotels, all the other players, and knowing that you've won events, you feel comfortable and you know you can go out and win any week. So yeah, it's very different. It's a different life, but it's what I've dreamt of since I was 14 or 15.
Anything else? Okay, Liam?
What was your favourite club?
Favourite club?
Yeah.
Probably my 6-iron, strangely. I hit a shot which we showed earlier all over the world, and somewhere in Switzerland, I don't know if you've watched the one that's in the mountains, the ball goes 10% further there, so really it's only 330.
Ryan?
So during a round of golf, how often would you generally hit like a stock shot? Like how often do you get over a shot and you're like trying to do something specific with it?
Do you know what? Most of the time you've got to do something, take something off. But not very often you have a perfect yardage, so very, very rarely will I stand in a fairway and have an absolutely perfect daytime or whatever it may be. So generally I'm gripping down to take 5 yards off the 6-iron, or try and keep it lower, or generally those days where you get a full shot and a perfect number, you tend to sort of score quite well because you're quite comfortable. You can go at the flags and, instead of playing slightly away from them. So quite often you're doing something with the ball, yeah.
Would you ever consider playing the US Tour?
I'm going to play a little bit more there this year. I've played a little bit over there. But for me, if you're going to do it properly, you've got to live there. And I don't want to live in America. Especially now. Yeah, so if you're in the top 50 in the world, you can play all the majors, you can play the World Golf Championships, and then look to play one PGA Tour event the week before, say, the US Open, or that sort of thing. Still live at home in England, so to me that's the ideal.
Chris?
What about Winter Sport?
You'd never have heard of them. Bristol City.
Go on, after you. Chris, what would you do to stop the current range of pros overpowering courses? Would you make them more difficult, make them longer?
Stop the
overpowering the courses these days. You make them more difficult, make them longer, or make them
stop pros overpowering them?
Yes, I mean, they get silly scores these days, aren't they?
Yeah, but
in the first round today, the guy got 9 under par.
Mark, yeah, but don't people want to see birdies?
Yeah, you should have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously technology's changed the game an awful lot, and I'm like you, I'd much rather go and play, a course that's shorter but a pleasure to play, rather than, I mean, some of the golf courses we play in China are just painful, and it slows the game up because they're designed for people in buggies, so it's 100 yards from the green to the next tee and stuff like that. You find actually when the odd event goes back to a traditional course, the scores, they don't rip it apart because you're almost forced into hitting a long iron off the tee, or you're not hitting driver on every hole, which I love. So the more we can play the older style courses, I really love. No. Right. One last one, Cannon.
What sort of relationship do you have with your caddy?
Have you got a girlfriend? Yeah, I mean, I get on pretty well with my caddy. You've got to. I mean, I spend more time with him than I do with my wife, probably. And you can get on top of each, he can get on top of me. You need your space sometimes. But it's important that you get on. But they're there to help. But some caddies think they're players. Sometimes they drag a little bit. But generally pretty good. But I've been through a few. I think I'm on my 6th or 7th
amongst such golfing prowess and such enthusiasm, I'm humbled. Now, I've learned a few things. I've learned to become a scratch golfer, only write down the good shots. I've learned through Chris, it's all about hard work and dedication, keeping fit, keeping your head down, having ambition and playing. So I'd like to say on behalf of the club captain, the Windlesham committee and all our members, juniors, we are so proud of you. To tonight's winners, well done. To the runners-up, there's always next year. Keep at it. You'll be great one day. And you might be following Chris. You might not be as tall as him. Be following him. A big thanks to Lee Mutlow, Richard Bishton, Ben Ross, Chris Davenport. We rely on you so much. You're out there in all the cold weather, trying to keep us on the straight and narrow, swinging through, heads down. It's been a wonderful evening. And most of all, Chris, good luck with your new arrival when he or she arrives. Thank you very much. It's been such a lovely evening for all of us. Thank you.
The scholarship winners and prize winners from the evening just come up first for the quick photo. And then when that's done, we'll get all the juniors up for a big group photograph.
Keep it going. I've changed.
Colour.